Movie Wizard 1 here, and this is going to be review slash spoiler. I'm gonna give you the review first. I love this movie so much. I have to say it's kind of better than Infinity War, because this really does feel like a send-off to the past 10 years of these movies. And it's like it's saying goodbye to this story and then moving on to the next phase of the story. But I know that Disney and Fox are now Disney has the rights to Fox. They can use Fantastic Four and X-Men in the movies. So who knows? Maybe in the next 10 years we can probably see the Fantastic Four and X-Men working together. But I really love this story, especially where they take these main characters. And you know what? I'm just gonna give my what I thought about it. I'm gonna give it a 9.5 out of 10, which is an A plus. And now to my spoiler point. If you have not seen the movie yet, click off this now. Assuming you did. Okay, let's start from the beginning. That it starts out with Hawkeye and his family. This is the point where his family gets dusted by the snap, and then it cuts to Nebula and Tony still stuck in space, and it's Captain Marvel that comes and brings him back to Earth. And then after that, Tony is still recovering from what happened, so it's Captain Marvel, Rocket, Cap, Rhodey, Black Widow, and Nebula, Thor, and Bruce Banner, who go up to find Thanos. They find him at the garden, and he used the stone again 2 days after this. Some time has passed, like 3 weeks or something passed, and the second time he used the stones, he destroyed stones. He used the power of it to destroy themselves. So they have no way to get everyone back. So Thor just axes Thanos' head off. Then 5 years passed. 5 years later, we see how Cap and Black Widow have been dealing with everyone disappearing, how everyone has been dealing with their situations they're in. And then Scott Lang, Ant-Man, finally gets out of the quantum realm. Don't know how. Basically, all we see is a rat or a mouse, like, start the van and pops out of it, goes to see, and it's been 5 years for us, but to him it has been 5 hours. So he's like, he doesn't know what's going on. He's still figuring out where is everyone. The first thing he wants to see is his daughter, who is now like a 14, 15 years old now, and so he goes to see Cap and Black Widow, talk to him about how they could use this to use the quantum realm to go back in time, get the stones, snap their own fingers, bring everyone back. And so they go to Tony first, Tony Stark, where and him and Pepper Potts have settled down. They have like this cabin on the lake, and they have a daughter now, and he just wants this quiet life. He doesn't want to go back to it, and so they go and see Banner, who has now become Professor Hulk, where it's Bruce Banner's mind and Hulk's body have merged to become this Hulk, Professor Hulk, which everyone kind of knew he was coming back, which I still think it was pretty cool the way they did this. It's pretty cool the way that I can tell from, everyone knew from the promo arts, the toy leaks, that this was probably going to be Professor Hulk. And then Tony has a change of heart. He comes back to help them, and they go and get the rest of the team. So Rocket and Professor Hulk go to New Asgard, which Thor finds the rest of his Asgardian people, moves them to where they found Odin in Thor Ragnarok, Norway. They moved everything to Norway, what was left of Asgardian's people that Thanos didn't kill. And you just see how bad this has taken on Thor. He has just gone fat. His hair's grown back, has a long beard, and I'm just gonna say he's basically the Big Lebowski, which they reference. They call him that in the movie, which I think that was pretty nice. Everyone was kind of thinking that. So everyone comes back, and they split up into 3 teams to get the stones. Like, so Cap, Tony, Ant-Man, and Professor Hulk go to the New York battle in the first Avengers to get the Power Stone, Mind, and the Time Stone. Then Thor and Rocket go to Asgard 2013 and Thor the Dark World to get the Reality Stone. And Rhodey and Nebula go to 2014 from the first Guardians of the Galaxy to get the Power Stone. Then Hawkeye and Black Widow go to Vormir to get the Soul Stone. And they really do creative stuff with this time traveling stuff they do with this. Like, everyone's gonna compare this, and I'm just gonna say it. Yes, it's basically Back to the Future Part 2, where Marty goes to Back to the Future movie, and you just see everything that happened throughout the first Back to the Future, and they're just trying not to see themselves alter timelines, stuff like that. But Cap and past Cap just get into this big fight because they think it's Loki, and I still think that was about the funnest thing about the movie. And Nebula and past Nebula is still linked with now Nebula, the future Nebula. Like, they're like connected to each other. So the robotic sides of them. So past Thanos finds out how he actually does win, and the Avengers are trying to fix what he did. So he gets past Nebula to take future Nebula's place and so past Nebula can bring Thanos the ship to takes 5 years. So I'm just guessing 2023, 24. Black Widow and Hawkeye, they just battle it out to try to see who will sacrifice himself, because if you saw Infinity War, you have to lose someone you care about to get the Soul Stone. And Black Widow sacrifices herself to get the Soul Stone, like, and they all come back, and they make their own gauntlet. And of course, Professor Hulk is the only one who is strong enough to hold the gauntlet to snap their fingers to bring everyone back. It does end up working, but Thanos' ship does come out, and he just blows up Avengers HQ headquarters, and it's Cap, Thor, and Iron Man versus past Thanos. They just keep it's a good fight, and then every single character from the MCU comes to the final battle with that and Thanos' army. They clash. It is a beautiful, great scene. Everyone's there, the Guardians, Black Panther, Shuri, everyone. Spider-Man, Doctor Strange, Wong, everyone is there. And the whole moment in the movie is Thor brings back his hammer Mjolnir from when he went back to Thor Ragnarok. So he has both of his hammers now. He has Stormbreaker and Mjolnir. And Cap lifts Mjolnir. He just is beating the crap out of Thanos with the hammer. And it is just an awesome scene. And this does come as a really devastating moment where Tony ends up using the stones, snapping his fingers, and dusting Thanos and his army, but it ends up killing him throughout because it kills him from using the Infinity Stones. But they do have a nice funeral for him. Everyone's there still. And Thor leaves Asgard to go find himself. And he leaves Valkyrie in charge. And he goes with the Guardians of the Galaxy, which I really hope he is in the Guardians 3. That would just be a really good movie for him to be in that. And so Cap brings the stones back to their right places in time, but he decides to stay in the 1940s, World War II, so he can live out the rest of his life and be like he never went into the water, never froze for 70 years. He stayed married Peggy Carter, and now he's an old man, and he passes the shield on to Falcon. And I have to say, it was a really good send-up. It was a really good ending for this 10 years of all these movies, and kind of want to see how they're going to keep going with these movies, what's going to be the future of these movies. So let me know what you guys thought about Avengers Endgame down in the comments down below. Make sure to like and subscribe. See you next time.